I'm on my way up to Bradford, the wonderful city of Bradford, up in North Yorkshire, to help an academy member out. He's just lost his job, unfortunately. I'm not sure if that's due to COVID-19 or for other reasons. And he's really down in the dumps, and he's feeling a little bit sort of hard done by and a little bit sorry for himself. Do you know what, Joe? You just got to see this as a good thing. You've got to get out there, just get out there and do it. And I said to him, look, if you put the same effort into your job as you would your business, how far along do you think your business would be in 2 months' time or 3 months' time? And he completely he agrees with me. He's like, yeah, absolutely, my business would be so much further along. And I'm like, well, why don't you? And all he's got is excuses, and he's got listen, but I'm sick and tired of buts. I'm sick and tired of people coming up with reasons and excuses why they can't do this. Honestly, it's tiring and it's boring. So I took it upon myself. Next week, we're going to spend a day on the road, and we're going to see if we can actually make money from property in one day. Obviously, there's a bit of an advantage because I'm going to spend a day with him, and I've got a very hot investors list. I know what I'm doing. I'm very experienced in this business. But if he can learn something from today, that's all I want. That's all I want. I want him to take something away from today that means he can then go away and implement this into his business, and stop saying but. Stop saying, well, it's okay for you because you've got an investors list, or it's okay for you because you've been doing it several years. So what? When I started, I'd only just been doing it. When I started, I didn't have an investors list. When I started, I didn't have any deals. I didn't have any investors. I didn't have any agents to call. I had to get my ass up and go out and find these deals. I had to get my ass off the sofa and go meet agents, go meet vendors, and actually just go out there. Stop sitting on your ass expecting this to come to you, because it ain't going to. You've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get your ass onto the road, get to wherever you've got to go, wherever your area is, and do something about it. Nothing is going to change in your life unless you do. And it all starts with you. Not with me, not with somebody else, not with the government, not with social media, not with your friends, not with your mum and dad. Stop blaming your past. It's down to you. The only person that can change your life is you. So make it happen. Now, we're going to be arriving there very, very soon. I know Joe. See, this is the thing. He's got the skills. Joe has set up a meeting with an agent who does only direct to vendor. He's got lots of connections in Bradford, with Bradford Housing, with Bradford Social Services. He's got so many connections, and Joe's got that connection, so why is he not utilising that? Today is about finding that out. Let's see how today goes. We'll catch up throughout the day. Can't wait. So we're here. To be honest, the area where we're at, it looks a little bit ugly and a little bit run down. But I always go by the theory that the ugliest houses sometimes make the best money, because at the end of the day, it's not me that's buying it to live in. I'm buying it for an investment purposes. So all good. We're going to spend the day with Joe. We're going to try and help him. We're going to try and sort of steer him in the right track a little bit. Really, I don't know what the outcome of today is, but today is all about a bit of motivation, a bit of learning, a bit of training, and do you know what, just a bit of a kick up the ass. Because sometimes in business you need a kick up the ass. You need somebody to say, you need somebody to be direct with you. You need somebody to not just mollycoddle you to make you feel good. You need somebody to say, oi, sort it out, man up, suck it up, and get on with it. Because that's what you need in business sometimes. Because no one got anywhere in business by wrapping people in cotton wool. So we're going to go and look at some houses. It's starting to get heavier and heavier rain. We're up north. That's what happens up north. It rains constantly. Like it was sunny 10 minutes ago, but then we come into Bradford and it's raining. Anyway, let's go and see how Joe's getting on. Let's go and see what's going on. Let's go and look at the viewings we've got to do today. I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit apprehensive because this is an area that's new to me. So I want to make sure that the area is good for investors. I want to make sure it's good for buying property here. Joe seems to love this area. So let's crack on. Let's wait and see what happens. All right, so we're here at the first viewing.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. What is it?
So it's a buy-to-let.
Yeah.
Housing association.
Right.
We're literally going in there. It's 20% if you buy it right now.
Okay, how much is it on the market for?
69,000.
What's the value of this street roughly? What are things selling in this street for?
About 65, the last comparable in 2020.
Okay, but this is 3-bed.
It's
Last
3-bed,
comparable
yeah.
was 2-bed.
2-bed, yeah. We've got no other comparables.
Okay, so no other comparable. So the last comparable was a 2-bed,
Yeah.
and it sold for 65.
65, yeah.
What's the condition of this property?
Not bad. Pretty
Okay.
decent.
All right. So you mentioned housing association. Tell me about why is Bradford so good for housing association?
Well, there's so many people that have come in that they need homes for. So
Okay.
people who are homeless or people who have problems, mental illnesses, and they've joined with the council.
Right.
And they've got one big contract to just fill thousands of homes in Bradford.
So roughly how many are they looking for?
They're looking for 2,000 rooms.
2,000 rooms.
Yeah, yeah.
So they would make this into a... So tell me how it works. So if an investor buys this deal from you, okay, what happens next? How does he get that to the council? Because I know sometimes that can be hard work.
Yeah, so we take control of it all.
Mm-hmm.
We do all the contracts with the council. It's all done through the lease, the agreement, and then it's sent to them.
This would go as a family home.
Family home, yeah.
How much would rental income would you get from the council?
They'll pay you £535.
£535 a month.
Which is above average round
I
here,
was
yeah.
going to say that I would have thought the rental income here would be like 400.
It is, but they'll pay more for a 3-bed.
And what about condition? Does the investor have to give it to
the
the...
good condition, no. It's
So-
they've just got
livable?
Just livable.
So it doesn't have to be like refurb to high spec, just
No.
livable as long as it's not full of damp.
Yeah.
It's got hot water, it's got heating,
Yeah.
windows that are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the investment after buying, 3 or 4 grand.
Everything in, it should be 19% as it's asking price right now.
Right, so we can go in, let's go and view the house.
Yeah.
I know we've got 4 or 5 of these to look at today. Let's go and view the houses. Listen, I'm excited about the council stuff up here because if you can get more money from the council, which is guaranteed,
Yeah, for 5 year.
5-year guaranteed at $535 a month,
Yeah. No voids.
that's higher than if we were to rent it out to a normal family where you risk voids, you risk damage. What happens if a tenant goes in there and they trash it?
They deal with it all, they give it back as it was.
So the council give it back to you as it was. And Joe here has worked his ass off to build these connections. Yeah. Like, so people say, why use a deal sourcer? I'll tell you why I use a deal sourcer. Because deal sourcers, like, they build the connections. They have the power team. So Joe's put the effort in to get into a point where he's got the connection with the council where you can literally phone up and say, look, we've got a property coming to market. Give me the contracts. It's done. Yeah. Whereas other investors that say, look, why don't you just go to an estate agent and get an estate agent to show you? They don't have them connections. So sometimes paying that £2,000, £3,000 to a deal sourcer, one, you're going to get the price negotiated down, you're going to have the power teams in the air for building work, and you've got the connections to getting guaranteed rental income from the council that Joe's done all the work for. So, listen, I'm excited. Are you excited? Because you don't look excited.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
All right, because I reckon we can get these deals and we can get them sold onto investors. First viewing's out the way. I ain't gonna lie, it was a bit of a surprise in there. Like,
It was bad.
it was bad. Pictures tell 1,000 lies, yeah?
Well, they got new tenants, didn't they?
Yeah.
Pictures.
Oh, have they? Okay.
Yeah.
So when Joe viewed it online, the pictures are quite old. So the pictures now, what we've just seen is not what the pictures are. Like, tenants have ruined that house. Like, there's holes in the walls, the doors have got holes in them. The smell, my God, that god-awful smell, that ain't gonna go with me. That ain't gonna leave me for some time. What do you think about it? Well,
bad.
Like, if we weren't here,
first viewing in Bradford.
yeah. So if we weren't here, what would you be feeling about now?
I'd be like, oh shit, it's gonna have to be much lower
Yeah.
lower than we thought. But you know what? The council, I'll clean that up and take it.
Are you kidding me?
No,
That is really bad.
I know.
Like, the thing is, that property's not fit for human residence. It is crazy. Like, the tenants in there at the minute, I mean, it's way overloaded. They're paying $350 a month, which is nothing. And I counted 7 people in there, and there was people coming and going, and it's just a little bit crazy. Look, this deal, I don't think it stacks. I know you say it works, but he's told us that we can get it for 65. He reckons we can get 10% knocked off. We know it's probably worth, if we spent 20 grand on it, we could probably get it to be worth 65, 70. But we're investors at the end of the day. We want it to be a little bit undervalued after refurb. So we want to buy it for 65, spend 20 grand on it and be worth 100. Not buy it for 65, spend 20 on it and be worth 70. So that's not what we're doing. Really, I think if we were to buy that house, it's going to have to be around £40,000.
Wow, yeah.
I think 40k.
When you said 40k, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but you've got to be cheeky. If you're not embarrassed by the offer, it's too high.
True.
Let's move on to the next property.
What I would probably say to you then is that maybe you put forward the two options available. You know, obviously one would be is to buy it today. You know, at whatever.
Do you know what would be easier? This might be easier. If anything below 60 grand is off the table, why don't we do this? Why don't Joe, because obviously Joe's based around here, he's looking at this house. We're business partners and we're looking at it together. If Joe taps up like a heads of terms and just outlays the principles of what we're thinking, so the agreed purchase price, a year, the yearly term, you know, 7 years, 5 years, whatever, and lay out all the just basic terms, not a legal agreement yet, and then he'll send it over to you. You can have a look at it, run it by the landlord, and then if you're happy with the agreement, then we'll send it off to solicitors to get it all done, you know, through solicitors and legally. And we'll just go from there. But I think the first step is just to get heads of terms tapped up, and put down what we can offer, and see if you would be happy with that, and you know, and you would obviously from the rent and the you know, you would get your bit as well. Okay. Yeah. So we'll do some number crunching and get that over to you and see what we can offer to help everyone out.
That's fine. There is another property that I'm going to be seeing tonight. It's through Terraced property again, 3-bed.
Okay.
So price wise, you're looking very similar.
Okay. Is it the same situation? Is it?
With that one there, probably is. You know.
Okay.
I think she's got some. I don't manage the property at the moment, but she's got tenants in there that she's managed to just kick out.
Yeah.
But she's they haven't looked after the property, so it is.
See, you seem like you do quite a few properties around here. So have you got any other properties that are similar to this that need work doing to it, and there's going to be profit in there?
Probably. I can have obviously over the last few months with lockdown, there's been a few properties that, for example, that's up in Moscow Street's an example. We had it on the books just before lockdown. Yeah. Okay, but then during lockdown, for some reason, he's thinking that he's going to be able to get another £15,000-20,000 for it, which is not going to happen. So I've taken that one off.
So if there's any other properties, I don't know. If you and Zoe would go for a day out or something, just look at as many properties you can that need refurbs. Either one of us will take it. We know people that will take it, that would buy cash and move quick. That may be something that you'd want to arrange as well.
Okay,
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I can save you details in my phone, so anything else that comes up like that, I can find it across to you straight away. His mortgage term is coming to an end in December this year for whatever reason. I think he just had a small term mortgage, but it's an interest only mortgage, and he can't sell it because it's not worth that price anymore.
Well, look, we're kind of, this is just straight to the point. We're looking obviously as investors to make money, and if you have, you know, sort out a day with Joe where we're looking for people that motivated sellers that are happy to take on offers. We can move quick. If there's a refurb opportunity, we've got cash to buy properties, and we know people that have got cash as well, other investor friends. So if I were you, I'd book a day out, get to view all these properties, and if you know anyone, you've got any properties that you think, right, they'll take an offer, you know that we'll pay cash and move quick, then it's definitely worth having a look at them as well.
Okay, so we've had lunch. Joe kindly treated us to lunch, which was nice, thank you. Now, during lunch, prior to lunch, we sent out an email for that property in Bradford, and we've had, let me just get my phone so you guys can see. We've had quite a lot of responses from investors. Now, a couple of the investors one of them's actually from Australia and one's from Switzerland. So like worldwide interest in the property in Bradford. You found, not me, you found it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to jump on the phone, speak to them and just see where they're at, see what their interest level is, and then we're going to pass them on to you with their permission, and you're going to deal with them directly, get this deal done. But let's just jump on the phone, see what happens, see who's interested. It might be they're all time wasters. We don't know until we pick the phone up. Okay, so that investor Fred didn't answer the phone. So we're going to sit here and wait for him to phone us back. I'm sure he'll probably phone back in the next sort of 5 or 6 hours. So we'll just sit here and wait. No, you do not wait. What you do is you pick the phone up to the next investor. If they can't answer the phone, it's their opportunity they've just missed.
Hello?
Yeah, hi, it's Alasdair Cunningham from Better Source Limited. Hey, how you doing, my friend? I'm just giving you a call with regards to the text message regarding property in Bradford.
Yeah, that's the one.
So, what interested you in that deal? I know we've given you only limited information at the minute, but what interested you in Bradford? Are you already investing in Bradford?
I'm not invested in Bradford, no. It's just I've got a bit of... I've just come into a bit more capital, that's all, and I'm trying to get working. It's sort of a deal that, when I've been looking around, this sort of stuck out as something that I'm really interested in.
And it's actually it's really, really nice. Like, it doesn't need much work doing to it with regards to refurb. It needs a little bit of work for conversion to make it sort of licensable. But it's previously been a HMO. Now, he run it as a HMO about 3 or 4 years ago, and he had 6, 7 tenants in there. But the thing is, being in Bradford with the northern houses, they're massive. The rooms are all big, so we're very confident you could get 7 bedrooms out of it very easily. You'd have to do a little bit of an extension to the kitchen because it doesn't quite comply with HMO rules. So we'd have to get a little bit of work done there to make the kitchen slightly bigger, but we have a build team in the area that can do that. And then downstairs in the basement, It's all been sorted out, it's all been boarded, it's all ready to go, and all you'd have to do a minimal work to make it into a 2-bed apartment, and that's got its own entrance, so it's got a completely standalone entrance. So therefore you could have it as a 7-bedroom HMO upstairs with a license, and then a 2-bedroom apartment downstairs which would rent out as a single AST. And it does bring in Bradford and where it's at, you'd easily get £75 to £85 per week per room, and on the bigger rooms you'd probably get closer to 90, probably £95. The reason being is, like, one of the rooms is actually, like, at the minute it's got 2 double beds in there and there's still plenty of space, so it's humongous rooms. The property condition is fine, so you don't need to do any sort of refurb work, you don't need to do any painting, decoration. It's already got fire doors, it's already got a fire alarm system, it's already got emergency lighting, and like really it just needs minimal conversion work to get it through HMO licensing, and to get the apartment downstairs sorted out. You could do a title split on the apartment downstairs, get its own title. You'd have to do some additional works, and then you could potentially sell that off or refinance that. So there's plenty of options on this property. Sort of what sort of position are you in? Are you full cash buyer, or would you be using a mortgage, or where are you at financially with it? Just so you understand how we work, the way we work is you would pay the finder's fee up front, and then we give you 14 days to come out, view it, meet us there if you want to. We'll introduce you to the letting agent, etc, etc. And if before 14 days, if you're not happy for any reason, you just literally say, look, actually I'm not going to go ahead. You're not going to lose any money. We're not going to hold your finder's fee back or anything like that. We'll give you a refund if you decide not to go ahead. Once you've paid the finder's fee, if you want to go ahead, we'll then give you full disclosure. We send everything over to you, all the due diligence, all the photographs, everything, and then you've got 14 days to do your DD on it and make a informed decision. And if it's not for you, then so be it. And if it is, then great, let's get it over the line.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good.
So what do you want to do at the minute? Do you want to go away and think about it, or do you want to get some terms and conditions sent over and get them sorted out, or?
You know, I was literally just going to ring my finance guy.
Yep.
Quickly running through the numbers, and then I should have an answer within half an hour as soon as I speak to him, really.
No worries, it's a first come, first served basis, so as soon as I put the phone down, I will be speaking to another investor. But if you do want to proceed, can you do me a favour, just out of courtesy, can you just let me know either way, even if you just drop me a text, just saying, look, I'm going to go ahead or I'm not going to go ahead. It makes no problem either way, but just so I know, because then I'll take you off the list.
Okay, no problem. No, that's absolutely fine, Alasdair. I appreciate that.
No worries, Dan. Amazing speaking to you, and all the best, and I'll speak to you in a half an hour.
Speak to you soon.
Thanks, bye. So, listen, we don't always get a yes on the phone there and then, and rightly so, because he's going away to speak to his finance guy to make sure he can get finance. So I'm perfectly happy with that. We'll see. That's all we can do. We can just wait and see. But I'm not going to wait for him to ring me back.
No.
Not at all. So what I'll do is I'll now just pick up the phone and call another investor.
Hello?
Yeah, hi. It's Alasdair Cunningham here from Better Source Limited. I'm just giving you. Hi, how are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very good. Who am I speaking to, please?
Yes, I'm really good, thank you.
Good. Listen, I've got this property in Bradford. It's a 7-bedroom property that could become a 7-bedroom HMO. Now, it's previously been a 7-bedroom HMO. It just at the minute it's just a family living in there. So what they're doing is it's got fire doors, it's got fire alarm, it's got everything in there. It just needs a little bit of an extension to the kitchen, i.e. it needs the wall knocking down and moving because the kitchen's not quite big enough for a HMO.
So does it need to be extended or just another actual house?
No. Not the house, just the internal. So we need to move an internal wall to make the kitchen a little bit bigger and utilise the space a bit better. and it needs a few other little bits doing to it. But in a sense of refurb, it doesn't need any, because the house is actually pretty good condition. It's actually very good condition. The guy that owns it spent about 35 to 40,000 on it in the last 3 years refurbing it. Now, what he's done, which makes this a really good deal, is he's gone downstairs into the basement and he's sorted all of that out, got rid of all the damp, decorated it, made it really nice, and all it needs now to finish it off is a shower and the kitchen installed, and then it can become a 2-bedroom apartment, which would rent out on its own for £400 to £500 a month in the area. The HMO upstairs would get £75 to £95 per week per room, because the rooms are massive. You know the terms, we've spoke before, 14 days, and then you you can go out, look at it. If you're not happy, you just get your refund. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give him your phone number, and then he's going to give you a call in about 2 hours. And he's going to arrange, so you won't actually have to pay his fee until you meet him. Okay? So so you don't have to pay at the minute. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you his number, and he'll arrange to meet you. And you can come and view the property, and then if you want to go ahead with it, all we ask is that you pay the finder's fee to him and you deal directly with him.
I'm quite happy about everything I heard, and if the house looks as good as you explained, I'm more than happy to take it.
Listen, I'm a man of my word, so if I've said you've got priority, you've got priority. So I will give your number now. The guy's name's Joe. I'm actually sitting right next to him, and what I'll do is I'm going to give him your number right now, and then once me and him have finished spending the day together, he's going to ring you up and he's going to arrange to meet you. I am not going to speak to any other investor until he's met up with you and let you see the property.
Perfect.
And then you just deal. Then if you want to go ahead, you deal with Joe, you pay him, and then I'm here if you need a bit of help or a bit of advice. No worries. Thank you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bye-bye.
Okay, so exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And he's like, Alasdair, I trust you, no problem, because he trusts me because I've done what I said I was going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so and like now, I've given him refusal on it, even though he's not paid his fee. I've given him refusal on it because I know who he is. He's come back. So now I'm going to give him your number. He's given us permission to give you his number. So for all your GDPR sort of nutcases out there, I've given you his number and I've got permission of him to give you his details. Yep. You're going to contact him. You have a conversation with him. You arrange to meet him there. Happy days. Perfect. And he'll pay you. Yeah. And even if you give him a little bit of discount on the finder's fee, so be it. Listen, this business is not difficult, right? It's about people. You got to get out there meeting people. Like, what have you learned today?
So much, man. Just confidence, the way you've spoke about deals, how you've walked in, and just everything. It's a mindset that I've learned.
100%. It's a mindset, and you've just got to believe that you can do it. Like, was that phone call I had any different to any of the phone calls you make? Like, for anyone who doesn't know, Joe works in sales, selling windows. Yeah. So is that any different to the phone call you've ever made?
No.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
The only thing that's stopping you doing it is the fact you don't have a list of investors.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have people that know, like, and trust you at the minute. Yeah. But that comes with time. That comes by continually doing what you say you're going to do, by continually adding value and offering to help people. That's what happens. You give somebody what they want, and they will give you what you want. Okay. That's the number one rule of business. Okay. Now. Yes, some of you might be saying, well, it's all right, Alasdair, you've got investors. But guess what? I didn't have investors. And I started this with 0 investors. 0. I sold my first deal when I had 77 investors on board. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I can't do it because I don't have a list of investors, or I can't do it because Alasdair doesn't come out with me for a day and send the list to his 8,000 strong investors list, then stay broke, because that's what will happen. Because I didn't have this to begin with, all right? But now, all I'm doing today is showing you what is possible when you put yourself out there. That's all I'm doing, right? I'm just showing you that if you've got an investors list, you can put yourself out there and you make money. Today, you've potentially made 3 grand. Like 3 grand. Like, a lot of people will work 40 hours a week for 30 days a month, pretty much, or however many days in the month they'll work the whole month to earn 1,500 quid.
True.
Seriously, the power, mate, the power is in the list. How do you feel?
Amazing, man. Thank you very much for coming down. And you, Ricky. Appreciate it.
Okay, so here I am. I'm catching up now with Joe. We went out together on Friday, and it is now Tuesday, the 25th of August, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm putting this video together, and I decided to just message Joe at nearly like 11 o'clock and say, dude, are you up? Because I want to have a quick follow-up, because I know today has been quite an exciting day for Joe. So Joe, tell me in a nutshell what's happened since we met up on Friday. I know that we had an investor for that deal in Bradford, and you were going to be meeting him on Sunday. So how did that meeting go?
Great. We got on really well as well. We just went through the figures, looked around the deal, met the vendor, just walked around. We met with a HMO specialist in the area as well.
Yeah.
She came with us. Which went really good.
Everything. So the HMO manager backed up everything we said about rental demand.
I said we brought the HMO manager around. We just made us basically count the rooms, just get the room rates of everything, work out how it's all going to work. So it went better than expected.
Yeah, really good. Now, I know the investor is going to be changing what we originally planned, because we originally planned 7-bedroom HMO and then an apartment downstairs. So he's going to be extending the kitchen, and he's talking about putting RSJs up and opening the floor plan up, which is great. But I know he's super, super happy. So has he actually paid you any money yet? That's what I want to know.
So today he paid his £1,000 fee.
Okay, so
£1,000 holding fee.
So he's paid £1,000 for you for the effort you've put into finding it so far. And is he going to pay you any more money, or is it just £1,000, or is he paying you any more at the end or anything like that?
Yeah, he'll pay a further £2,000 on completion.
Okay, so you will make £3,000 in total for when the deal goes through. So you're happy, I'm happy, he's happy. Really, that's all that matters. Now, so that's that deal. So I come up with you, we spent a day together, I showed you this is possible, I showed you how easy this is when you've got a good list out there, when you've got a good list of investors and people know, like, and trust you. I've showed you how possible it is. I know you can do this. Okay, next, we met, I think it was Khaled on the day, and he talked about giving us 2 HMOs on a sort of delayed completion term. Has anything come of that? Have you heard from him at all, or have you followed that up at all?
No, so I've not followed it up because I thought he was going to, originally I assumed he's going to call you.
Okay.
So I always asked you today, didn't I? I think I asked you this morning if he's called, he hasn't. So this is a good time for me, I think, tomorrow to give him a good ring and find out where he's at with that.
I definitely would, because we didn't discuss it much in the video because we had very little video footage because he wasn't very comfortable being on camera. So what we actually got, for those that missed it, we met a vendor called Khaled who's got he's got around 70 properties around Bradford, and he's very happy to do a delayed completion on 2 HMOs for a 3-year delayed completion. So that is just a lead. It's not a guaranteed deal. It's just a lead. Okay, but follow that up, let me know how that goes. And also the estate agent we met who's comfortable and understood lease option agreements, have we had any contact with him or any follow-up with him?
Yeah, so I've messaged him and we're planning on meeting by the end of the week and just going to have a chat about potential future business and go from there, really. So that's exciting as well.
Great.
That's going on Friday.
That's great. So listen, in the space of a week, you've now got an estate agent who's a really good contact, and he's got lots of properties around Bradford, and he can help you with doing lease options because he's got many that are in negative equity or just too run down that need work, but they might not be good for you, to be honest, if they need too much work. So your job is to go out, view them, make sure they stack up and assess them, take on whatever you can take on yourself, but don't just take any deal on just because you want to get a deal done, okay? Make sure the deal works. Also connect with Callie, the HMO investor, and find out if we can do anything with that delayed completion. And it might not materialise, and if it doesn't, that's fine. But if it does, great. But even if it doesn't, you've still made a really good connection with an investor that's got lots and lots of houses. Maybe one down the line will work. But what was your biggest takeaway from spending a day with myself?
Confidence.
Yeah.
It's confidence. Ricky and you, just like the hunger as well. You're just hungry and the energy to it, and it just showed how sort of lazy really I felt I am. And you've sort of shown me like just the fact that when you both got in there and did what you did, it just brought me back to how I felt like when I first started.
Yeah, you got to have energy. You got to go with it. You got to be out there. You got to like be confident when you're speaking to people and like love what you do, because it's part of the process and it's part of the journey. Joe, I know we're going to make a great success of this, and I wish you all the best. And I know that investor's going to go ahead with that deal, and there should be nothing there. That could be the first of many. So all I'll say is keep pushing, keep going, and keep doing this. Don't give up. I've shown you what's possible. It's now down to you to go and make it possible.
That's it, man. Thank you. Cheers, Alasdair.
No worries, my friend. I'll catch up with you very soon. So as you see, listen, it's all about action. Stop sitting behind your laptop building spreadsheets hoping it's going to work for you. It's not. You got to get out there, feet on the ground, walk the streets, meet agents, and then stuff happens. But it doesn't happen by magic. It happens by action. Joe took action. He's now getting deals. He's now getting results. Guys, if you've enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. If you are not already, make sure you get subscribed and make sure you turn on notifications, and I shall catch you next week. Cheers, Joe. Catch you later.